Great, well, we've got some music for you to do just that. We might take the background music down. Thank you so much, Trey. Trey Lowry on the sound, give him a big hand. Alright, well, for those of you that are unaware of the Napa School of Music, we teach music lessons and we do this thing called GarageBand 101. And just recently we've been doing a session where we just have the adults as a separate thing. We do our show here at Silos, and thanks so much to Keith and Sandy and everybody at Silos for having us. Thank you guys. Big hand for those guys. Really appreciate it. And over about 14 weeks the band learns a dozen songs or so, and we really put them through their paces. It's like rock and roll boot camp. And I've had a couple of people say, you know, Peter, I've never actually learnt the song all the way through. So we're going to learn 12 and 14 weeks. Fasten your seatbelts. And it's been a lot of fun. I mean, this is the way to learn music. This is the way to excel, to push yourself, to learn songs kind of under pressure. You've got to come back every week, play in front of the rest of the band. You've all got to have your parts together, and then after the 14 weeks of rehearsal, we're going to come here and play in front of you lovely ladies and gentlemen. So that's what we do. It's called GarageBand 101. We do it for kids as well. And August 11th at the Napa Valley Opera House, we'll be doing a session for the kids, also featuring music of the Beatles. So I'd love for all of you to come and see that, because you're going to see kids this big to this big play Beatles tunes. It's going to be a great night. So, with no further ado, I'd like to welcome our first band, twice as good as the Beatles. They call themselves the Fab Eight. Come on, guys, come on. Give a big hand. Okay, we'll just take a moment to get plugged in and that kind of thing. So, for someone at my advanced age, the Beatles, well, you know, Groucho said that you're only as young as the woman you feel. Anyway, thank you. The Beatles, for me, weren't the first music that I remember listening to. I remember hearing See you later. I must have been probably 2 or 3. I heard Bill Haley in the comments on the radio. I'm not from America, I'm from another place far, far, far away. Across the pond south. Anyway, we did have music down there. But before the Beatles, things were kind of in black and white. You know, probably not in America. You've had colour for a long time. But in Britain and certainly Australia, where I'm from, it wasn't exciting until, for us anyway, until the Beatles came along. Yeah, there was Elvis. Elvis was cool for a while until he went into the army. Victoria can't hear me, Trey. Turn it up. She's getting old too. There we go. Can you hear me? 1, 2. Testing, testing. Okay. Anyway, when the Beatles came along, that was it for me. And unfortunately, I became a musician, and couldn't get over it. That was it for me. You know, I couldn't figure out, did I want to be John Lennon? Did I want to be Paul McCartney? Did I want to be John McCartney? I didn't know what I wanted to be, but some kind of combination thereof. And I know that you know, Mr. Vince Nash here over here on the keyboards, one of our incredible instructors. Give him a hand. Speaking to him too, I'd say that you're probably in the same boat as me when those guys hit, man. It was just like nothing else. If you weren't a young person when the Beatles came around, then it's hard to understand how much of an impact they had on music, the culture. I mean, there's nothing like it, nothing since. It was amazing. And of course, you know, over here you had the Ed Sullivan Show. We didn't get that in Australia. We had somebody else with a kangaroo. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I've spoken to so many American musicians that said, yeah, that night when the Beatles were on Ed Sullivan, that was like, I decided I was going to give up classical music. I'm going to start playing rock and roll. You know, it ruined a lot of people, literally. No, but it was like nothing else. So I'm so glad that you're here tonight. I know you're here to support your friends and family, but I'm hoping that also you could be a Beatle fan, and if you feel like singing along a little bit, you know the lyrics, we would love that. I'm going to stick these things on my ear because when you've been playing music as long as I have, you get these little things happening. This just helps me a little bit. Okay, so, you guys ready? Yeah! All right.